What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Girl, 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 girl. I need to open my eyes so you can see that I have some sense about me. I don't know if I like these glasses. I might have to change the glasses, but let me just clean these first. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I had a good weekend. When I tell you, I spent the entire day outside yesterday. I didn't come in until the sun went down. I stayed on the balcony all day. I watched movies. I watched this movie with Sean Penn and Dakota Johnson. I think that's Melanie Griffith and Don Johnson's daughter for some reason. Because and I was looking at her face, I was like, she looks like Don Johnson. And then, her last name is Johnson. I was like, oh, don't they have a daughter? And I don't know if her name is Dakota, but I know that they have a daughter, and I'm sure. Hey Siri, what is Don Johnson and Melanie Griffith's daughter's name?
Don Johnson and Melanie Griffith's daughter's name is Dakota Johnson.
There we
This
are.
answer is from NikkiSwift.com.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, yeah, so she was in the movie, and it was Sean Penn. The entire movie takes place in a cab. She gets in the cab, and she has a long drive to from the airport to Midtown. They get stuck in some traffic and stuff like that. At first, they're not talking to each other, and then of course, then they start talking. And Sean Penn, he's talking about how when she got in the car, she asked him his name. She wasn't in her phone. She was actually, present and looking around and stuff like that. And then they started like this. It was a competition to see who could share the most personal thing about each other. It was good. It was actually really good. At the end, I actually cried. It was actually really good. It was actually really good. And she finally told him she was dating this guy, and then he kind of figured out details of the guy, in terms of like his relationship status, and then kind of telling her how men are, like men who cheat on their wives. He was like, you serve a function. And once you start telling, like, if you're the man's mistress, once you start that I love you shit, it really fucks up the vibe, because that's not your function in his story, basically, in his life. Your function is to fuck him, not say too much. And what did he say? It was something else he said. But it was pretty good. I was like, okay, let me watch this, because I was trying to find, I don't, I was on Netflix. I should have been watching Bell Collective, because I did not watch Bell Collective at all. So I'll watch that this week, and you'll get a recap of that, and then you'll get a recap of Salt Lake City. I completely forgot about Salt Lake City. I got to get back into my review head. Um, and then what's going on? I don't like how this is like not cold. How long has it been sitting here? And I add my creamer first so that I don't have to. I guess the creamer was too super cold. I do not like piss warm coffee, and I don't own a microwave, so I can't go heat it up. I just have to put it on the stove. But it's okay. I cannot stand piss warm coffee. I remember my grandmother used to say that, and I adopted it. I need my coffee hot. When I go to Starbucks, I order extra hot. Anywhere I go, I'll be like, can you make it super hot, like super hot? Because I run my mouth so much, and by the time I get to it, I need it to still be hot. You understand what I'm saying? So, anyways, um, so I gotta get. So there's two videos. If you're on my Patreon, or if you are a member of the channel, um, there's two tiers for membership. There's a 99 cent support the channel. So it's just 99 cents a month to support the channel. Show your girl support. Give a diva $1, honey, to support the channel, which I greatly appreciate all of those who support the channel. And then there's a tier that is $9.99, and that is for folks who don't want to download Patreon but still want to watch the videos on Patreon. So I made a tier on the same price as Patreon on YouTube. So if you don't want to go all the way to Patreon, if you don't want to download the Patreon app, if you don't have Patreon, I understand not wanting to download another fucking app. I get it. I totally get it. So if you don't want to download the app, you can join the $9.99 tier, and I notify. There's a members only community page, to where I will just um, how do you say, post and let you know that there are new videos up. So there's 2 new videos up on Patreon. So and for members. So the members have been given the link to the video, and it's also posted on Patreon for those who have Patreon. So thank y'all for joining the Patreon. I really appreciate it. There are some of you that have, like, I had a Patreon a long time ago, long time ago. I was about to go into the monologue for Bernie Mac on Players Club. I was about to. I was like, let me shut up. Girl, I just found a bunch of videotapes that I have, VHS tapes. When I tell you, I have, of course, Players Club, Breakfast Club. I have Pulp Fiction on DVD. I remember Pulp Fiction. I used to play Pulp Fiction. I would get home from the club about 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was just in the VCR, and I would just hit play, turn the TV on and hit play, and just have Pulp Fiction run. When I tell you that's like one of my favorite movies, I would just have it running in the background. Anyways, um, so yeah, go to Patreon or memberships. And then I got a review, Bell Collective, that came back on Friday. So give me a second to review that. You're more than likely going to get Bell Collective reviews probably by Tuesday, because I really don't sit in front of the camera on the weekends. But yesterday I did. I was on the balcony all day yesterday. I bought this little cute, like, love seat, cushioned love seat. And I know I said I'm not supposed to be buying stuff, but I used to have something on the balcony, and then I got rid of it. And now the weather is changing to where I want to just chill on the balcony all day. Like when I start my 9 to 5, I'm about to take everything outside. I'm about to take my computer and everything and set up outside and be outside for the day. I love being outside. I love this weather. I love that it's so cool and crisp. The air is so crisp right now. It's like 71 degrees. It's 71 degrees in my house, but it's probably lower outside, like 60, probably like 64, 65. So I don't know what's going on, but shout out to the people who I like this tweet that I posted, and I just posted it randomly. It was, when did I post it? 7:25 p.m. on the 4th. I posted a young picture of Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell, and then a picture of them today. And I put outlasting everyone, ... never married. And then people in the comments are showing me old Black couples that have been married for 1,000 years. Girl, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about them. You're talking about people who have been married. I'm talking about people who have lasted as long as these people run around, get married, divorce, get married, divorce, get married, divorce, get married, divorce. And there's like this goal to get married. And these people have successfully stayed together. No scandals, no scandals out of Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. Not that I'm aware of. Y'all can let me know if there are any scandals down there, but I haven't known any scandals from them. And they've been together. They've even had children together. But they're not married. They're not married. And I remember when I used to talk about this on Facebook, I used to talk about marriage being a business, and and then like the men, oh my God, the men do not want women to look at marriage as a business, because as a business, would you ask yourself, the man that you're with or the woman that you're with, would you go into business with them? And my litmus test is, if I would not go into business with him, if I would not have him handling accounts receivable, accounts payable, loading, whatever the job is, if you would not go into business with your current romantic partner, you should not be in a romantic relationship with them. I swear to God, I remember on Facebook, the men did not like it when I told women to look at marriage as a business. They want you to look at marriage as a romancing love story. And it's truly not what it is, right? Getting married literally is a business decision. And it really sets people up, because if anybody can get married, that means you're literally going to into business with anyone, someone you barely know, right? If you think about it like that, and when you start thinking about it logically and get your goddamn heads out of the clouds and unwind your fucking eyes, then you will realize, like, oh, I probably don't want to be married. Like, I'd like to be in a relationship with you, but I don't think I want to be legally tied to you. I don't know if you would be able to, you and I can run a business together. You understand what I'm saying? Because when you're in business with someone, there are a lot of things that you realize about the person. You're like, damn, girl, what? What are you saying? What is your logic? What you want to do? What? Like, and you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people are in the comments talking about they've been together, talking about, I don't know, some people, men want women to stay in a romantic like level of the game when it comes to starting a business with someone, and you need a license to do it. I feel like if you need a license to do something, it's very serious, right? There are serious responsibilities that come with it, and to be accountable if you're not abiding by whatever the governing rules are for that license, right? There's no governing, I mean, just a divorce court. That's it. Who else is over governing marriages? Because you create the marriage that you want, right? The contract of marriage, or whatever your prenuptial agreement, I think no matter what your socioeconomic level is, that you should definitely have a contract. It was so funny. This guy that I used to date, I used to work with him, but I stopped working there, and we kind of like started hanging out together, and I was decluttering, and I found a little paper where we said we were going to get married. It was back in 94. Okay. And we said we were going to get married, and we said we are legally married, and he signed his name and I signed my name. And I was like, is this a legal binding? Am I married to this man? I don't even know it. I was like, we just wrote a little, and it's literally, the paper is like this big. It's like this, it's like a little piece of paper. And it says the date, I threw it away. It says the date, and then it says hereby are married as of today under California code. And I wrote something around there, and we both signed it. We were really good. We were like this, really, really good friends. Never did anything romantical together, but we kind of like hung out a lot together, and there was that tension there. And so we would say, if all else fails, we'll marry each other, if all else fails. And so we ended up getting married on a little piece of paper. So funny. Anyways, but yeah, so the people, this says this tweet has 3 million views, 3.4 million views. Last night it was on 2 million views, and I didn't realize that the tweet it was 25,000 likes, 1,000 shares, 1,000 saves, and 56 comments. And I was like, I just posted it, was like, outlasting everyone, never married. And then there are people in the comments showing other married couples who have been together long. Like, men really, if you ever think about it, men, it's so funny because there's almost like this two things happening with men. They don't really want to get married, but they're because it is beneficial for them to get married, because you basically have a maid. Like, you have a maid, you call her a wife, but she's really your maid, your mule, and your mattress. And in order to get that, in order for, like Sean Penn said in the film, one thing about a man, they do stuff for other men, right? And one thing a man can do that's better than other men is maintain a wife and a family. No matter what it looks like on the inside, as long as the outside looks like you have a family, that raises your social credit score for a man. No matter if he's cheating on her or not. But if you're married, that's why men get fired for violating morality clauses at work, right? Because they have morality clauses, like, TJ Holmes and what's her name? Amy. I think her name is Amy. TJ Holmes. I think her name is Amy. TJ and Amy. Is her name Amy or Annie? I don't know, whatever that white lady's name is. But they got fired, right? They violated morality clause, and especially for Disney, right? They want to act like they're so Disney and we're family values and all this other stuff, right? Um, but in real life, it's just a matter of you being able to say, I was able to get a wife. I'm a Joe Schmo in this society, and I was still able to get married. And on the woman's side, you open up your options to men and hoping to find someone who will be monogamous, right? That's typically what a woman wants. I want to find somebody who's going to be monogamous, right? Um, and then you go into the relationship and it's not what it seems on the inside, but from the outside you look like you're married, you look like you got the prize, he looks like he's able to commit, you know what I'm saying? It's like a good look. It don't matter what it looks like on the inside. On the outside, if you're able to perform, that you're in a marriage. And like he was saying in the movie, he was like, men like their toys, their objects, and a wife is one of those objects that you want to attain at some point in your life, so other men can look at you and be like, yeah, you got all the toys. And if you married and have a mistress, that's even better look for the man. And she's completely unaware. That's a better look. Men just want their toys. They just want their objects, and women are objects in that, right? When you listen to the death pill rhetoric, it's all about money. It's all about gathering toys, money, women, cars. That's their motivation. Like your motivation is women. And that is where I come in and say that men will never change, because there will always be a woman in her who has been taught in her mind that a man is a prize. He still looks at her as an object, but if she's able to get close to him in some way, she looks like she has a prize, and he looks like he's gathered another toy. You understand what I'm saying? And so it doesn't, men being quote married, they don't want women to logically think. They want your head to be in the clouds when it's time to get married, because that now you literally legally attach yourself to a Joe Schmo who in real life, if it were an actual business that you were running, you would not go into business with that dude. You just wouldn't. You just wouldn't, if you logically thought about it. And it's beneficial that you're not thinking about it. It's beneficial for him that you don't think about it. You understand what I'm saying? So shout out to the people who made that tweet go nuts, because I did not post it thinking that it was going to do these numbers. That's crazy as hell. 3.4 million views. I was like, what? What? Trying to push a narrative that you can be together for life without getting married is just sad and desperate. Men still win regardless. It anyhow you slice it. That's what some man said. Men do not like to hear women discouraging other women to get married because it benefits them. They know it does not benefit you. But if you operate from a space where, you're following I was watching the Christian women and getting into these relationships with these Christian men. The men don't be Christian. They don't be religious at all. Because you meet how many of you have gone through this where you thought, let me go to church to find a man. You found a man at church, and as soon as y'all start dating, he stopped going to church because he was there to find a woman who thinks she came from a man's rib. If I can get one of you weirdos to think that you came from a man's rib to be my wife, and you think you're supposed to be a helpmeet or a helpmate, whatever the fuck y'all be saying, and then that you are supposed to be my maid, my mule, you're supposed to be the mattress I lay on and use your body to masturbate, and then you have a baby that you didn't even have an orgasm from, you conceived a child, you didn't even have a fucking orgasm from it. If y'all don't see how women get the short end of the deal when romantically partnering with cisgender heterosexual men in this society, I don't know what to tell you. But there will always be more women coming into the game. Okay, it's like a video game. I always use a video game analogy. It's like a video game. New new girls are going to always sprout. That's why the men don't have to change, because there's always going to be a new group of women sprouting up out of the ground, and standing in line, getting their programming, getting their Disney programming, wanting to be a princess at 8 years old, wanting to be married at 11 years old, thinking about your children's names, writing down children's names. Meanwhile, the boys are not getting that messaging. So then when you get to a certain age, then you're told, oh, you got to be married by a certain time. Otherwise, a man is not going to want you. So you need to be married. How many women have said, I want to be married by the time I'm 25? By the time I'm 25, your brain just solidified. It was mushy until you about 25 years old. And you're thinking to yourselves, and something that you've thought of since you were a little girl. The man that you are about to marry, that you're engaged to, ask him the first time he thought about his wedding. He's going to say, I never thought about it. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm not just coming down here saying anything. Go ask him. Ask the man that you're with, the man that you're married to, when was the first time he thought about his wedding? And then think about, when's the first time you thought about your wedding? Think about the first time you thought about what your kids' names were going to be. Ask him, did he ever think about what his kids' names were going to be? Ask him. Ask him, when was the first time he even thought about marriage? I didn't really think about it until I met you. To make you feel some kind of way. Oh, really? You didn't think about marriage until you met me? Yeah, I didn't meet a fool stupid enough to marry me. I didn't meet nobody dumb enough to marry me. You dumb enough. You think you came from my motherfucking rib and I'm supposed to be the head of the household? Well, girl, come on. It was a little gnat. He wants to get in the light. He's trying to go to the light. Stay in the light. Nigga together real quick. I love, that's my favorite pastime. Getting these niggas together, because anything a man can say about marriage, and I can debunk anything he says about romantic relationship, and I can rip it to shreds. I can rip it to shreds, because they're operating on you not being aware, not being woke. They're operating on you believing that they are the prize. That's what they're operating on, and hoping that. That's why they want the girls with the bull rings to be quiet. And they want the feminists, quote, feminists, to be quiet. Shut up. Whatever you're saying, shut up, because I don't want whatever you're saying to permeate through the brain of a woman whose eyes are wound up, who thinks I'm the prize. I know I'm not the prize. That's why when I get with her, I treat her like shit, because I can't believe you would pick a motherfucking nigga like me, because I ain't shit. A lot of these niggas be mad at y'all for choosing them. That's the crazy part. Be resentful, because they know they ain't shit, and they know you shouldn't have picked them. So they get mad at you and start disrespecting you and get resentful towards you because you didn't pick them, knowing good and goddamn well. He knows good and goddamn well he shouldn't have been picked. And that's the truth, Ruth. That's the truth, Ruth. So listen to this guy. I just watched this video this morning. Charles had posted it. Oh, this is Oliver Twist. Okay, let me play this video for you that I saved about this. You know, sometimes I like to send men to deliver a message, because it doesn't matter. When I tell you, I see it every single day. Every single day, I see how women prefer a man over a woman. I see it every day. And I see that you will prefer a man to tell you something over a woman telling you something. And that is how patriarchy works, where you will not be open to what a woman is saying. But if a man says it, and don't let him be a white man, if a man says it, then you guys will be like, oh, yes. But if I say it, then I am met with a lot of criticism. But if a man says it, you're like, oh, let me listen, right? So I want you to listen to this man and what he says. It's a little long, not that long. It's a little long, but I want you to hear what he said.
I forgot the
I'm about to say some controversial shit right now, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we've been lied to. I feel like they've been playing in our faces. Like everybody, all the men want to tell us how, like, men are supposed to lead. Men are supposed to lead. Women are supposed to be behind us. But then, on the same breath, we say how great a woman intuition is. How we always supposed to listen to our wives. How we always supposed to listen to the women in our lives to make our lives better. How you gonna say a woman has great intuition and then say she's supposed to be following us? Why does she have to tell us the message when we can just like get behind her and follow her? You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense to me. And I know some people gonna be on here talking about some I forgot the new word that the niggas using, pandering or whatever. I don't fucking know the word, whatever. But it makes no sense. Even in the nature, orcas, hyenas, black widows, a lot of anaconda, all this shit, lions, they all fucking follow women. And don't tell me the male lion don't follow the woman.
Female.
They nothing happens without the women. Nothing. And when they tired of him, they kick him to the curb. Even the game of chess is right there in our face. They playing in our face. Even the game of chess, they want to tell us the king is the special piece on the board. That nigga only can move one space. One space. The queen doing everything on the fucking board. They literally telling us we're supposed to be following women, but we got these fragile ego ass dudes that's in charge that's saying that women are too emotional when men are more emotional than women. You know what I'm saying? It makes no.
What did I tell you? Everything they say is just be like, oh, okay, and no, it's the opposite. Men are supposed to lead? Oh, okay. No, they're not. Women are too emotional? No, they're not. Women have better emotional intelligence than men do. You know why? And it is a response to women being too emotional, that women will go and figure out how to regulate their emotions, how to regulate their nervous system, how to respond to conflict, how to respond, and how to respond to any situation with a level of emotional intelligence that doesn't cause harm to people around them.
Sense to me. They've been playing on our face this whole time. And I feel like they know that if they ever give women power, they ain't getting it back.
The same how white people are afraid that of being equivalent or equal to or being treated the same as black people or non-white people in this country. They know if they lose the majority per capita, they will never be able to get it back. That's why they're shook, scrambling. That's why they're putting restrictions on women's bodies. They hope that you fuck up and trip up and get pregnant in a state where you cannot terminate your pregnancy. They want you because they don't really give a fuck about the children. What they need is numbers. They don't care about the children. They're not pro-life. They're not pro-life because once the kids get here, they don't give a fuck. Look how they're doing Celeste Rivas. Her body was put into a bag and put into a trunk. And they're trying to say that the owner of the car is not a suspect. Even though the owner of the car was in a relationship with this girl, has been grooming her since she was 11 years old. Possibly 10, depending on what time of the year it was, because she doesn't turn, her birthday is at the end of the year. How they're trying to say that this girl was 15. She was not 15. She didn't have a 15th birthday. She had a 14th birthday, but did not make it to 15. They actually found her the day after her 15th birthday. She had already been dead. Her body was decomposing. And they don't give a fuck. They're trying to create narratives that this was just this little fast ass girl who was unruly. And don't let her be unruly to the parents because we are still in a patriarchal, hierarchical system. And so kids who disrespect their parents, where she's some runaway, she's going to be thrown away. They're like technically kind of throwing her away. I don't give a fuck if David is a suspect or not. The fact that someone or two put that girl's body in a bag. So no, if we can't determine the cause of death, whatever it was, someone or two put that little girl in a bag and put her in the trunk of his car. And they're just acting like, oh, well, we can't charge him. You can charge him with delinquency of a minor. You can find somebody to charge with tampering with a dead body. Someone or two put that girl in a trunk. I don't give a damn how she died. I want to know who fucking put her in the trunk. of that car. Somebody is responsible. She didn't do that herself. She didn't put herself in a bag and then climb into the trunk of a Tesla and close the trunk door. That didn't happen. But they don't give a fuck about kids. And they tell you every fucking single day, they don't care about kids. They're hoping that their kids come from a neglectful home. So they, as soon as they get out of foster care, they can start trafficking them. They can pick them up and start trafficking them. You know, the United States is a human trafficking hub of the globe. So they don't give a fuck about your children. There's too many people in therapy to tell me, too many adults in therapy trying to recover from childhood trauma to tell me that this motherfucking country gives a fuck about kids. Actually, it doesn't give a fuck about kids. This country is not kid friendly at all. There are plenty of other countries on this globe who would be considered kid friendly. Kid friendly countries in the world. United States is not on there. And if it is, it's at the lowest of the low.
It back because we're gonna see how good everything is. And don't just even look at everything going on. Every time you see somebody sitting in front of a police car, protesting, fight going off on people, it's always a woman, bro. It's always a woman. And I feel like just because we have strength over women don't mean we're supposed to be the ones in charge. That means we're supposed to be protecting the fucking oracles. That's what that means. All right, I'm done with my little rant because I'm sweating this shit. I gotta go somewhere. I'm done with this shit. I'm about to say some controversial shit right now.
I'm going to read a couple of the comments. He leads in creating the environment for her to do so. No, he's not a leader. Exactly. She leads in the intuition, oracle, and spirit. He translates that into what is needed in the physical and then builds it to protect her and her tribe. It's so obvious to me. It is refreshing to see the divine masculine awakening into formation. When I tell you, and that's another thing, y'all are so eager and needy and so needy. We need men. As soon as they say one thing, y'all be ready. Y'all legs just open and the cookie jar's open. Y'all don't know whether to give the nigga some coochie or a cookie. The divine masculine, did he represent the divine masculine by coming into an awareness that women are the true leaders? That's why I cannot stand to hear a woman say she wants a man to lead her. What the fuck is wrong with you, toddler? You a toddler? You a baby? We, the thinkers, y'all, the doers, consult us before you make moves. We can see what you don't see. We we can do what we not built to do. We're literal genies. You feed us the vision, we paint and hold a picture in our minds and start manifesting the vision. We gather all possibilities and the ending clear. The divine ideas start forming. Will y'all listen though? Together we are powerful. The concept of man leading came from Western Christianity, which is a tool of patriarchy. It was never truth or natural, just well propagated. You are 100% correct in your line of thought. Don't let the ignorance of the patriarchy gaslight you. And that's exactly what it is. Whatever, it's I keep saying, this country, especially under its hierarchical patriarchal rule and ideas, that is fed through every single aspect of everything. If I hear another woman say that she's the neck and he's the head and she turns the head, you're the head, you're the neck, the shoulders, the arms, the biceps, the abs, the hips, the thighs, the calves, the shins, the ankles, the feet, the toes. That's what you are, girl. From head to toe, you are the fucking leader. I just not want a man to lead me. Girl, I can't. When I tell you I can't stand to hear that, it drives me insane. The woman is the first teacher, the first nurturer, the energetic foundation. And then what they did was take everything and then flip it to be like a man came up with it. I said that the other day, the father of gynecology. Are you kidding me? You know how many women have had their ideas stolen by men and then given as their own idea? So many things. How society is structured today came under the rule of women, meaning how women come are in the home taking care of the children. It's like the women and the femmes are taking care of the children, and the men are out. They're not to, the man is not supposed to be in close proximity to you. That nuclear family shit was a way for men to have maids, mules, and mattresses. But you should not be in close proximity with a man every single day like that. You need to be around women. A nuclear family isolates a woman from other women and then puts you in a group of other women who are married and miserable in their marriages. And then y'all sit together and complain about how he doesn't do this and how you have to tell him to do this and that, and explain and literally say out of your mouth all the things that you're doing as the leader of the home, and will still tell your community he's the head of household. It is literally upside down. And the men, I've said it 1,000 times. I used to say it all the time on Twitter. The men are supposed, you talking about they're the protectors and the providers. They are supposed to protect the leaders. They are supposed to serve and protect the leaders of the tribe. And those are the women, the oracles, the healers, the shamans, all of them. But they flipped it all around, and now you're looking at men as the head of this and the leading in this and stealing women's ideas. This has been going on for a long time. Every day I was looking at, what was I looking, and I was like, there's romance put into every single aspect. It's like like beat you in the head with romance. It's not logical. It's not logical. You are the leader. You're not supposed to be, when you think about, if you are a person who believes that femininity is exclusive to people with vaginas, and you think about your ability to give birth, there's nothing pink and feminine about giving birth. A woman's energy, feminine energy, not exclusive to people with vaginas, but feminine energy is chaos, creation. It's not tame and it's none of that. It really isn't. It really isn't. It's none of that. None of telling you, oh, it's pink and we're resting and that. Girl, you want a man to do something so that you can rest in your femininity, when femininity is pure, unadulterated chaos. That's why they say the masculine brings order. Not a man, but the masculine energy brings order. That's where that comes from. Not men bringing order. Masculine energy is order. Order. Feminine energy is creating all over the place. It's not, oh, I'm kicking my feet up. No, girl. And then a lot of women just relinquish all of their everything to, this is the same boy if you was in grade school, they would tell you that you develop and know more than him, have a better emotional intelligence, have a better grasp on interpersonal relationships, has a higher emotional intelligence, and you're following this guy. Girl, you better get out of my face with this. Let me see. Let me go down the list. I see nothing but women. When women are perceived as being more emotional on their cycles, it's due to an increase of testosterone. Sit with that. This is why they make everything about conquering through a woman. I had a first lady. He's not the head. She was wrong. He's not the head. You're the head all the way down to the toes. You do everything. You are the leader. He is not the leader. He is not the head of anything. There's a woman talking about, I had a first lady assistant pastor tell it to me like this. He's the head, but you're the neck.
Girl, shut the fuck up.
Girl, shut up. Anyways, I gotta go. So women are the true leaders. Men are supposed to protect the leaders of the leaders and gatekeepers of the culture. Understand? Okay. And then we had AyeshaCurry saying she never wanted kids or marriage, claims that Steph Curry doesn't understand her. I was always career goals. He tries to resonate with me, but he can't. How many? I'm a person who didn't want children. I had two. I never want children, never wanted to get married. Had two children. Some women, they have in their heads. Remember I told you, we have in our heads what our path should be. And then someone comes along and thwarts us. And it's typically a man who thwarts us off of our path, like literally snatches us off of our path. And we make a choice. We are accountable for our choices. We make a choice that sends us on into a different direction than the life that we had envisioned for ourselves. Keep your vision alive. Keep it alive. Do not let anyone, man, woman, non-binary, I don't give a the fuck, take you off your goddamn path. Don't allow it in the form of some type of relationship, romantic relationship. No. How many women have made a decision and now have a different path? Now they're married. I want you to hear AyeshaCurry. So many of y'all tag me in this, but let's listen.
No.
4 kids. Did you always knew you wanted a big family?
No. So I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be career girl and that's it. And I had my eyes set on my goals. And I was never the little girl that like dreamt about the wedding dress and all of that. And then it happened so early in my life. So it's like, it's one of those things like you don't know what you actually don't know what you want.
It's so hard also to be the woman in a situation where you're like, men just don't get as much scrutiny. Like they can maybe tell him like your fucking shots suck tonight, but like the looks and all of that is just like not a factor of conversation as much.
No.
Did you talk to Steph about it? Like, or did you kind of keep it within yourself so it didn't?
I do not have a bone in my body that can keep anything to myself. So if it comes to mind, it's coming out. And he's so gracious. Like he tries to resonate with me, but he just can't. And he also comes from a place of like, it's effing stupid. Like, it's not true. So why? And I'm like, but wait, like, listen to how it makes me feel. And he's like, but why does it make you feel like that? It's not real. After we got married, we found out we were pregnant with our daughter so quickly. I didn't even have time to think about what I wanted anymore. It's so interesting. I spent my entire life like trying to work towards something, and then it kind of just disappeared, and I didn't think twice
That makes
about
me
it.
sad.
But after my daughter turned 1,
Hearing her say that literally makes me want to cry. Because so many women's lives are changed and we give up so much just to be with someone for what? Why? What is that? It's something that's been fed to you where you feel like you have to do something. And even if you don't want it, when you're presented with the option, there's something in there still that's not deprogrammed, where you will take the option that you know isn't the life that you want. Maybe I do want this. He wants to marry me. Maybe, do I want this? Maybe I do want this.
4 kids. Did you always knew you wanted?
Oh, like this doesn't feel right. I love being a mom, but I love doing other things too, and I need to get my shit.
And then those women who being they take on being a mom as their identity, And then those be the ones when the children are gone off to school and gone on with their lives. Now they're sitting at home thinking like, I don't have nothing to do. My entire life was surrounded around my kids. My entire identity was being a mom. Oh my God. Well, I love the content creators, but the women who are like their entire identity is being a mother, don't forget who you are. I have to tell my kids I was Erica before I was mom. So understand me, I'm never going to get rid of Erica ever. I'm never not going to do like I told them this weekend. I'm going to do this. If y'all want to come, y'all can come. If y'all don't want to come, y'all don't have to come. But I'm still doing it. I'm doing it regardless because I'm me and this is what I want to do. I still was able to maintain my identity. I was never going to fall into a mother being my primary identity. I was Erica first, and Erica will remain in this motherfucker forever. Erica is never gonna leave. Yeah, I'm also a mother, and even then, I see myself as a guidance counselor, not a quote mother. I'm someone who is guiding a child that I have been granted through the sky has come down here and given me two children to guide into adulthood. That's my duty. That's what a role that I have, in addition to other things I have going on for myself, goals that I want to complete, things that I want to do. Don't ever lose your identity in a man, in the children, nothing. Maintain who you are. If you need to get a fucking necklace with your goddamn name on it so you can remember who the fuck you are, take them necklaces off that say mom and get a necklace that has your goddamn name on it so you can remember who the fuck you are.
Together and figure out what that looks like for myself now.
If I have a career and I'm not home, like, did you experience that?
I still experience that. I still experience that. I'm always in therapy talking about this. If you lose all of those things that were interesting about you, even for yourself, like even the things that made me feel confident and cool, then what are you doing?
For kids.
All right, let's read some of the comments. This is a prime example of what can happen when you commit and forge a forever bond before truly knowing yourself. Them 30s ain't no joke when you have no self foundation. If she feels that way, why you get married and have children then? You control what you do. If you didn't want to get married and have kids, then you shouldn't have. I'm sure you weren't forced. It sounds like she got married and became a mother at a young age and is now trying to find out who Ayesha is outside of a wife and mother. It is not okay. It is okay. She's not bashing him. Even if I felt that way, I wouldn't say it out loud. And that's the problem. There are millions of women who feel this way and won't say it out loud. And everybody's just suffering in silence. If you started a family young, you get it. At some point, your soul kicks in like, hey, we still in there, girl? What about us? No shade to our spouses or children. We just need to love on ourselves a little more often. If you know, you know. The fact that women are saying she's embarrassing him is embarrassing to me. She's simply saying that she didn't plan for her life to go this way. She was set on being a businesswoman until she met her husband. Hence the self-criticism. You actually don't know what you want. It doesn't take a genius to understand what she's saying. Losing yourself can happen. That is what you are designed. This society nurtures you to lose your identity in a man. I was just talking to my other brother about this. I have two brothers. I was talking to my other brother about this, and he was talking about, do you think that men and women can be friends? We're not socialized like that. Yes, they can, but we aren't socialized that you could see a man and a woman walking down the street and they can be siblings and y'all would think they fucking. Oh, that's that. You would think that that's her boyfriend. We see a man and a woman together, we automatically think they're in some type of intimate romantic relationship. We are socialized that everything has a romantic tint to it. Every fucking story, even down to fucking Avengers, even Marvel, they inject some type of romance story in something. They're feeding it to you constantly. Romance, 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 romance. And then lose your identity in a boy, in a man. How many of you, younger, older, however old you were, you got with a man and completely took on all his identity, started using his lingo, started hanging out with his friends. And then when it's all said and done, none of those people are around because they were all his friends. They were all his friends. Look at Melody and Martell. All them people over there, they were Martell. Those were Martell's people before they were her people. Those were Martell's friends. And what you think happened when they got a divorce? They chose him, even though he's terrorizing them today. They chose him. He's a good guy. He just needs a chance. What about Martell? It's designed like that. So much so that the men don't even take any kind of effort to know their children's birthdays, to know their children's middle names, to know their children's friends' names, or their children, an instrument that they play. How do you not know what instrument your child plays? Don't you hear them practicing? They don't have to. You lose yourself. You don't even like football. Now all of a sudden you over there rocking some jersey. You don't even fucking like football. When did you start liking football? Oh, because you with him. And you've taken on his identity. And so now you don't even know who the fuck you are. Because you done morphed yourself and turned yourself into a goddamn pretzel. So that ultimately, because what you are doing when you're taking on his interest is auditioning to be picked. When you hear women fighting over a man, listen to what they are saying that they can do better than the other woman. It's some form of labor. It's some form of labor. Fucking, feeding, running around like a fucking mule. I do this for him and I could do this for him. All of it is labor. So you're saying you're a better maid than she is. You're a better mule than she is. You're a better mattress than she is. What is it? Think about it. When women fight over a man and they're going back and forth because he's the prize, right? And he's sitting there like this. He's the prize. What do you fight? What makes you better than the other woman? How much labor you can do. I'm a better donkey than you are, girl. I can carry more sarapes on my back than you, girl. I can lay there and let him use my body to masturbate better than you, girl. I can cook better than you, girl. Labor, 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 labor. And y'all fall right into it. I'm going to be here to shake your shoulders and unwind your motherfucking eyes because the shit is stupid. And everybody's around here looking stupid. I feel sorry for AyeshaCurry because 4 kids is a lot of children to have with a man who doesn't resonate with things that you're saying how you feel. He don't even care. You've given him an opportunity to live another generation through those children. They don't even have your last name. You spent 10 months in a life and death situation. You could have died and the baby comes out and you be like, oh, you want credit for all of this? Let me put your last name on my child. Absolutely not. That's how you know the shit is upside down. You automatically think that you're supposed to give your child his last name to establish paternity. But when we do ancestral, when we do blood testing, we always are worried about the maternal line because that's what matters. But in this upside down patrix, we are taught, oh, just give your work, the work that you wouldn't do it anywhere else. Nowhere else would you work on a project for 10 months. And then when it's time to deliver the project, you turn around and put someone else's name on it. You wouldn't do it. But in this fucking weird ass society, we give our children his last name and he hasn't done a motherfucking thing. You didn't even have an orgasm when you conceived.
It was gone.
Let me just go in the bush and weep. Let me just go in the bush and weep. I just have to go in the bush and weep.
Really.
And you literally could have died in your most feminine form, giving birth with blood and guts and shit all over the place. It's war between life and death happening. You could die in childbirth, and the baby comes out, and you put some other motherfucker's last name on it. Mm-mm. We gotta break that shit up. I don't even care if you are married. You better put your last name on your work. And I'll leave you with that. Take care of each other, protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.